covering all of Blessing, Pennsylvania. Your Funky Werepig Classifieds. Local news with global importance.
Ladies' shoes. Many still new, never worn, still in the box. Trying to finance my awesome new motorcycle. Call Joey Love Handlers at 555-3838. If a woman answers, hang up.
Very strong person. 555-1237. 5. I have built my cabin. I have built my foundation. Now I need to put the cabin onto the foundation.
Bags of garbage just lying up and down the street. I brought them back to my house because some truck was about to take them. Call Philip at 555-0860. No reward necessary, just doing my part.
Brand new motorcycle. Can be seen between 2 and 4 p.m. Call 555-3838. If a man answers, hang up.
Welcome to the No Pencil Party. You can join at home. Come along and bring your friends. Here the party never ends. Welcome to the No Pencil. Never have to feel alone. Go ahead and shake your butt. No one here will give a fuck. Welcome to the No Pencil. Welcome to the No Pencil. Welcome to the No Pencil. Welcome to the No
What it all comes down to is everything's gonna be fine, fine, fine. 'Cause I've got one hand in my pocket and the other in a Cuisinart. Does that work for you? Oh, good. No. Hey, swing by anytime. I have a long list of things you can do with your other hand. Oh yeah, I gotta go, Alanis. Yep, I'm glad to help. Talk to you soon. All right, bye-bye. Hey, howdy in Harroink. It me, your funky werepig, live from the No Pants Zone studios. Throw those pants in the air like you just don't care. We are behooby deep in our spring-summer run. We've got Boy Child 1.0, riding the exercise bike that powers our Commodore 64 Magic, and we've got, wait, don't tell me, I got it. Boy Child 2.0 handed me the Post-it notes so I can keep telling you all the info I need to tell you. I got the comfy shirt on. We've got the underwear scented candle lit. I'm chucking moon pies at everybody. Just found out recently, these are edible. Yeah, who knew? It is all squad, no rents. Oh, what a show we have for you. If you're like me, long-time fan, first-time viewer, you know how much the Funky Werepig loves music, especially new music. I live in nowhere, Pennsylvania, in a town that's so small, we don't even get a dot on the local weather map. Yet, oddly enough, we still get weather. There are only 3 radio stations here, and they only play Aerosmith, Queen, and Billy Joel. I wish I was exaggerating. There are times you can hear on the first station Only the Good Die Young. Switch to the second station and they're playing Only the Good Die Young, but 2 seconds behind the first station. It's like their sponsor is Glitch, brought to you by the Matrix. I know that all 3 of those guys, those bands, are legit rock and roll Hall of Famers. But does anyone ever really need to hear Radio Gaga ever again? That's why the Funky Werepig loves spotlighting musical artists who don't get the airplay. We're talking Veer, My Misty Blues, Ripple Street, Austin Forrest, Casey Lansdale, November Malone, who does our theme song. Now, I know we have piggy petters who contact us saying, dude, you've got to do classic rock. And I get it. Indie music isn't for everyone. You want proven songs that have stood the test of time. Well, on this special morning coffee, I just might have a solution for our classic music rockers.
And the only
Our guests are the Kick Bahuki band Wolgemut. You don't get more traditional than these guys. They have done thousands of shows all across America and Europe for over 2 decades. We get to add the wang with the chung, sitting down with head pal Michael Gartner, and then the band comes back later in the show, all to spread more Wolgemutness. Can someone look that up? I was too busy thinking to be thinking, and I might have invented a word. There he is, with flawless continuity, like a Tibetan monk who has conquered all of his vices, except for reruns of Saved by the Bell, live via satellite through Zoom. Our own musical director, JJ Glamour. JJ, how are you, good sir?
You kiss your grandmother with that mouth?
Oh, no. I always kept a distance. My grandmother's mantra was, let me bring you one step closer to Jesus. So, yeah, did your grandparents share any sayings with you?
Well, don't let the door hit you where the good Lord put a crack in your ass.
That is very wise. It's kind of funny. We're all getting to be that age now. Could you do me a favor? Play us out to the Magic Farmers comedy break, and let's do a special tribute to the new old people.
You know, every day is a special day. Here's a song about the joy of being over 60. It's called I Am Physics Gone Bad.
Dear girlfriends, now here's your medical tip of the day. If during a physical exam you catch your doctor muttering, milk, lemonade, dismiss any advice you may receive. This has been Truthin' with Miss Tanya.
Behold the Magic Farmers Incorporated! Speak, Moo Cow! Speak!
You're not the boss of me!
She sees you. She appreciates you. She has the answers that you need. Influencer, life coach, Peloton rep. We now join Deb with a silent Y already in progress.
Hi, I'm Ryan Amber Maverick, Deb's fur baby daddy. Deb had to run to Africa to deliver baby elephants. Oh, she just posted. She says, ew, if this is childbirth, Vitril Jomo da. No way Sweet Lady Hot Pocket is pushing out something as big as an elephant. Unless it was for TikTok. In Deb's absence, filling in will be Squat Chumbler, owner of Chumbler Auto Garage and Yogurt Shop. Whether it be your carburetor, transmission, or brakes, Squat Chumbler fulfills all of your yogurt needs.
Today's question.
Dear Deb, I've been in a serious relationship for 7 weeks now. We met at bingo night. He was the caller and I was sitting in the back. I didn't get one square, but I felt like he was only talking to me. Last Saturday, he said he needed to see me. Even took a night off from bingo. I knew he was going to propose. Instead, he says he needs space. What does that really mean?
Hi. Dear unselected bingo ball. How do I explain this? A man is a lot like a car. You can only drive so far before he runs out of gas. And when you do put gas in it, you gotta stop when it says it's full. A lot of people try to round up to the top dollar, but that just puts excessive pressure on the vapor system. Excessive pressure on a man's vapor system ain't no good either. You might not like it when he runs off, but trust me from personal experience, you do not want to be there when his vapor busts. So to recap, can't run a car dry, don't overfill, and respect his vapors. That was easier than I thought. I'm Squat Chumbler, and this week an oil change will get you a pineapple surprise.
I'm bragging about my buddy. You know, as the Funky Werepig, I've received a lot of amazing special gifts, such as this handmade, hand-painted trinket from Goat Boy. This cursed werepig statue from a voodoo priestess I picked up hitchhiking outside a graveyard. And of course, my lady love giving me Boy Child 1.0 and Boy Child 2.0, also cursed. But the one gift everyone always asks questions about is my Zima button. Hey, where did you get that? Who gave that to you? Why are you still making shows? I'm proud to say I was presented with the Zima button at a very special ceremony by my friend Comic Book Bill. We both cried. So I'm here to tell you all about Comics Connection, South Central Pennsylvania's ultra-hip pop culture mecca. They have comic books, the most popular, the hard to find, and classic comics you won't believe. And they have the coolest toys, games, and collectibles. If you're anywhere in Pennsylvania, Maryland, or Tonga, stop by their multiple locations. Or, if you're one of those people being punished by living elsewhere, Comics Connection delivers. Just like Amazon, Grubhub, or a professional hitman. Simply order online at comicsconnection.com. Comic Book Bill is one of the coolest guys I've ever met, and his stores are... You won't get a Zima button, because this is mine, and I will hurt you. But Comics Connection has everything else. And tell them the Funky Werepig says, Harroink, baby.
Hey guys, this is Sharon from I Smell Sheep, and this month I'm reviewing an adult coloring book, but not that kind. This is Mythic World by Kirby Rosanes. From Kirby Rosanes, the internationally best-selling artist who brought you the Morpheus series, the next book in his brilliant New Worlds universe. Mythic World is a 96 double-sided pages of pure mythical creation that colorlists will love. Rosanes' new creations are hypnotic, featuring mythical creatures, magical landscapes, and surprise after surprise in the details of Kirby's ultra-fine illustrations. I was the lucky one to get to review this coloring book. This is my third coloring book by Kirby, and it's just as beautiful as the other ones. The theme is mythological creatures from different cultures. At the end of the coloring book is an explanation of each piece of art and the mythology behind the creature. You get to learn while you relax and color. It's a win-win. I Smell Sheep gives the adult coloring book Mythic World by Kirby Rosanes 5 colorful sheep. Until next time.
Check out the award-winning review site for books, comics, and movies your funky werepig loves, ismellsheep.com. It's time for Celtic Pillow Talk with a hard C.
Aye, my knackered bluter Joe. Didn't I teach your granny to suck eggs when it comes to the black stuff? It was all crack when you were mastering the bagpipes. But now, put your wee red head on me hairy chest and lose yourself like Sean Connery's Russian accent and hunt for Red October. Then you'll be sucking diesel.
If you would like JJ Glamour to write a song to someone you know, then dedicate it and sing it on the Funky Werepig, contact us at monkeyflingingpoo924@gmail.com. Include the person's name and a quote, an inside joke, or message you'd like to hear in JJ's lyrics.
If the song becomes a hit, JJ shares nothing with you, not a penny.
Dedicate a song at monkeyflingingpoo924@gmail.com.
Yes, this is real. Send me your stuff, like today. This goes out to Lady Esmeralda from the Chartreuse Knight. I will no longer hide from doing battle. I'll leave it to the gods above. I'm removing all of my armor. I'm jousted naked for your love. For you I'll smash a castle wall, not once but twice and thrice. I know how I feel about you. I don't need some 20-sided dice. Don't push my affections aside. Don't make me wait on the bench. Destiny says you are my princess. Providence says I am your wench. It's time me and thee become a we. I'm jousting naked for your love. That chainmail underwear really chafes.
Subscribe to the Funky Werepig and let the laughter and the music drop right into your hands. Summer's here, and it's time for my annual Kick Bahookie Bikini Wax Party. It's always fun when dude bros gather together to say, I'm not crying, maybe you're crying. I like to have ABBA because I believe that it scares off evil. And if I heavy traffic, I roll down my windows and they just clear a path. So I like that.
I love ABBA for cleaning the house. You put it on, it's just like SOS.
Yeah, what is it?
ABBA's brilliant.
SOS. Yeah,
that's it. Absolutely brilliant. Because you can't be sad. I mean, you're just playing it. I mean, it's Wolgemut. It's Wolgemut.
I have seen you perform a few times, and the music is excellent. The talent is undeniable, but
thank you.
Overall, what I love about you guys is you're just fun. It's just fun. I mean, your rapport with the audience, you get people laughing and singing and dancing. And I'm all about that. I love that.
That's my job too. And that's the best part. That's what I get paid to do. You do know the name of the group is Wolgemut, right?
Wolgemut. Yeah, I'm always intimidated trying to say any of your names, your song titles, your album titles. You know, some of these, you know, I've got the
oh, look at that.
Yeah, I got them. One. You know, I've got them, but I can barely pronounce half this stuff. Like this one I recognized immediately because I think it's the name of your new tour, the funkengroovenfest,
which is a completely made up German word. We made that up.
Really, they didn't say funky and groovy back then.
Oh, they probably did, but I don't know what it would actually be in German. Because funken in German is something completely different. Funkel means actually sparkle or sparks.
Oh, that was not my guess.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, isn't it? But it's like that's gefunkelt. You know, this is probably what Harry Potter does. Like, so I don't know. And groovy, yeah. But it was supposed to be a play on that old VW commercial, the Nugenheit, and all. It started off goofy and got worse, and the guys really loved it. So I said, yeah, we'll do it, even though I'm like, it's not a real German word kind of thing.
I love it. But who's gonna know?
Well, and more importantly, we get to own it now because it's like, you know, we say so. Funkengroovenfest is like our branding of like just a fun long set of nothing but groovy tunes. Because yeah, sometimes we do a lot of more goofy stuff, but that if it's a Funkengroovenfest, it's just 30-40 minutes of groovy tunes and very little talking.
But even I mean, just the reactions you get from the crowd, I just love it. And you must have some kind of comedic background. I was a stand-up comic for a long time and an improv comic. I love sitting there and just watching you on stage. Your back and forth is so entertaining. There was the one line on one of the well, I guess you just call them CDs. I'm outdated. You call them CDs.
CDs. Historical recordings.
That's right. The archives.
Or you can do the Latin compactus discus. You know.
See, you're a man of knowledge. I'm going to learn so much during this session.
I made that up too. Yeah.
But I mean, even Queen has to have hands-free steering to get their people to clap with them. You don't need that.
Well, I mean, we work hard on it. And again, you know, the name of the group Wolgemut, it's an old German word. It means to be in a good mood or to be of good cheer, really. And so that's always our goal is, you know, people start here and by the end of the show, they're up here. That's what we want.
Well, I absolutely love it. I think there was a line you used one time that you try to get the crowd to determine whether they want you to play louder and louder. And then you come back with, these are the bagpipes. They only go on and off. That killed me.
Yeah. It's usually that when somebody says, hey, can't you play that louder? I'm like, lady, they're bagpipes. They're on or they're off. That's it. But it's interesting. The drummers actually drive our dynamics more than anything because they can play louder and softer and whatnot. And we do try to add those musical nuances in there. When's the last time you saw us perform live?
I saw you in Pennsylvania. That's where I live. I saw you last year in Pennsylvania.
So you saw.
Oh, but I had caught you a few other times before that.
Right. But you saw we had a trombone player with us now, you know, sackbut player. And,
is that what that is?
Yes. Well, we call it a sackbut. It's technically a trombone because we don't have a sackbut. But the sackbut is the historical trombone. And the difference between a 16th century sackbut and a modern trombone is actually very, very little. There's not a lot of difference. The obvious one is the bell size. So on a trombone, the bell size, is like this, and it's flared. The sackbut actually doesn't have that flare on it. It's more of a cone coming out.
Okay.
That's one of the only differences.
Yeah, I mean, the instruments are just, I know you play the pipes. I know you guys obviously have the drums.
Mhm.
And it's not like a Beatlemania drum kit. It's not like, Emerson, Lake and Palmer. It just looks
not for
like,
lack of trying.
it just
Believe
looks
me,
like
if
a
I could
beautiful
get away with
skid.
it,
Just
I'd have
stretched
a
over.
giant. In fact, we do have in stock in storage right now. We have 5 giant bass drums, which we call our poor man's timpani, because timpani are very expensive. I would love to have timpani. Historically, they would have been known as kettle drums.
Yes,
And
yes.
you've probably seen illustrations. There's a famous one, the Triumph of Maximilian, and he's got horses with 2 big kettle drums on the horse, and it's amazing. And so historically, that would be the instrument we use. Unfortunately, they're extremely expensive and very heavy. So until we get a rich patron to buy some kettle drums, we came up with these big bass drums that have the same effect sound-wise, and they're pitched. So we have a pentatonic scale in giant bass drums. But just dragging them around was what a hassle. And so usually I let the drummers determine the amount of effort we put in, because like if we have one drummer and he can't carry it all himself, then that's pretty much it. What he can carry, that's what we use.
Is that part of the audition process? How much can you bench press?
Yeah, how much can you carry? It should be. Oh, that's a good idea. We should do that. Hey, and then we'll have some.
Where does somebody go in the now? Where does somebody go to learn how to play these instruments? I mean, I'm guessing my perception's off on a lot of things. When I watch specials on the Dark Ages, every child has dirt on their face. So those kind of things.
That dirty Middle Ages again.
Yeah, exactly. Everybody just eats dirt, and whatever they can find in the mud. There was never a sunny day. It's always gloomy and rainy. So these are the things I'm stuck with. I would guess when somebody has to learn to play the instruments that you guys play, it's almost like the art of being a blacksmith. It has to be handed down. Is that a false perception?
Oh, no, you're absolutely right. I mean, there is, in fact, we even call our new members apprentices. They're apprentices to our group. And then they have to go through a process, like almost like an indoctrination, not just to learn the music, but also the way we do it, because it's not like, other styles of music. So there's a specific way we do it. There's a specific way we perform it. And then there's also the issue of musicians in general are not the best performers, because musicians can be very reclusive. We spend so much time practicing, and then we get on stage, it's like, oh my God, they're talking to me, that kind of thing. Well, in our show, we're all very much about putting that energy out. And you made a comment earlier about, wow, that I must have been a trained comedian or something like that, and that's absolutely not true. I had to learn it the hard way, and for years I was terrified to talk to people. I just wanted to sit and play my music.
You're kidding me, because you guys are so good, and especially you as lead dude, so entertaining.
When the group started in 1997, I was not the front man. I was not the face of the group. We had a very tall German actor who actually was our lead person, and he was fantastic. So I learned stuff from him. But when he left the group, it fell on my shoulders, and suddenly I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? So I learned as quickly as I could, and I kept practicing and practicing. It's just like music too; you have to practice it. We are constantly throwing around ideas for scripting ideas, set ideas, shows ideas. The amount of times they tell me no is probably 10 times more than they say yes. That is funny. Okay,
that's the joy of being the leader.
Yeah, but it's a team process. It has to be. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, we're back with Greg at Where Is My Pig Gone? And so, Greg, tell us all about your experience with medieval and Renaissance music. or is it just been us? In other
Yeah.
words, are there other groups that you like listening to? Because there are a lot of colleagues out there that are playing historical music too.
I've worked for the past week and a half since you agreed to do the show. I've worked for the past week and a half just learning how to say Wolgemut. So
You're
you want me to
nailing
name
it, too.
others?
You're nailing it. Well, if you've been to Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair, which we will be there for 1 weekend only this year.
Why is that? Let me stop you real quick. Why is that?
Various reasons. The main one being scheduling, because we had already agreed to do the Maryland Renaissance Festival in September. So that means we weren't available for September for Pennsylvania. And by the time they got to us, really the only weekend we had free was the first weekend in October, which is October 1st and 2nd, I believe.
1st and 2nd, right in the beginning. Yeah. But you've been going on since what, March, probably? You hit the road again in March?
Yeah, this year it was officially March. We did a few gigs in January, and in February we did a couple online things, which were really fun. That's kind of new for us too, actually doing concerts, online concerts. People hire us to do a concert for them live. So we did some of that in February, but officially we started in March this year. And we still don't know how it's going to end, because there are two festivals that we're talking to, and for whatever reason, both of them are kind of dragging their feet. So we're not really sure. It'll either be TRF, Texas Renaissance Festival, for October, November, or possibly the Southern Ohio Renaissance Festival for October. And then November, we would be back in Texas for other venues and other events. And then we're working on creating our own event for December, which is going to be a Yuletide Revels event in Texas at the Sherwood Forest Fair. They have a lovely a feast hall there. And so I was talking to the owners and some colleagues, and I said, we could put on some really great Christmas feast here.
Yeah.
And they're like, and they looked at me and said, yeah, if you organize it, because they weren't interested in organizing it. They got a lot on their plate. And I said,
yeah,
I can do that. I think I can do that. So yeah, this is going to be our first attempt at organizing our own event and charging the public, and we're having a big feast and music and entertainment and
turkey legs, right?
Well,
yeah, medievally accurate turkey legs.
Well, that's that weird thing. That's expectation. People want turkey legs, but we're hoping to offer them something a little bit more authentic and possibly even more nutritional than a turkey leg. I doubt the nutritional value of a turkey leg. It's all about the sauce, anyways.
That's okay. In first Thanksgiving, I've heard that they actually, one of the main courses was eel, and nobody wants to eat eel at Thanksgiving nowadays.
Well, actually, I love eel. I mean, if you've ever had, it's that weird thing where you spend enough time in Europe, you try all kinds of interesting things. And I did spend 12 years in Europe, most of it in Germany. And freshwater eels are a delicacy, and they smoke them, smoked eel. So if you've ever had any kind of smoked fish, that's what it tastes like. But it's got a lot of fatty oils in it, so it comes out really tasty. Think like a really nice fatty fish. That's an eel.
All right, I will tell you right now. I'm going to come. I will save up my money. I'll start walking now, so I can go to Texas. For the Yuletide thing. I'm in on that, but I'm probably never going to have Thanksgiving dinner with you.
Probably not, but not that I've done the eel for that. But we're going to experiment with all kinds of dishes, I think. But obviously we want people to enjoy the meal too, so we're not going to go too crazy. The big question is whether or not we're going to do like an actual boar's head, or if we're just going to simulate a boar's head, because apparently they're not cheap. Doing an actual boar's head. But we do want to do like roast boar would be great, great alternative. And then some other kind of like we were talking about doing spitted ducks or geese. So not just chicken, but like something that has a different, flavor and a different texture and whatnot. But people are strange. They like what they know and they know what they like. Otherwise McDonald's would not exist, because that's the whole point. You go to McDonald's, you know what you're going to get. That Big Mac's always a Big Mac. So we may have to go with turkey legs.
Yeah, and if you're watching McDonald's, seriously, think about Boar's Head.
Boar's
Up the
Head,
ante a little bit.
Or at least like a wild boar sandwich for Thanksgiving.
Come on.
Or a turkey burger dripping with sauce, with the cranberry sauce.
You're $1 billion corporation. Throw a little turkey and boar in there.
Exactly. Just for the holidays. Just for the holidays.
Yeah. Because it's like the McRib. You don't want to spoil people.
Exactly. You want them to have that opportunity to, anticipate when it's going to come back. It is fascinating how many people, when they come through the gate at a Renaissance fair, they make a beeline for that turkey leg, because that's what they're here for. That anticipation of the turkey leg.
Yeah.
And Wolgemut, at least in my mind. In my mind, that's what they're saying. It's like, I get my turkey leg, get my beer, and now I'm going to sit and listen to some Wolgemut.
And they're doing it alphabetically. Turkey leg, beer, Wolgemut. We're programmed that way.
TDW.
But I tell you something. I have rarely seen an entertainment entity that loves their fans as much as you guys do. I mean, you have.
Well, thank you.
You do what, a live show on Thursdays?
Every Thursday.
And that just streams. Is that on FaceSpace? What is that on? That's.
Well, we started on Facebook at the beginning of the pandemic. We discovered that Facebook's not the best platform for live streaming, so we moved to Twitch, and so now we're on Twitch. And so far we're doing okay on Twitch. The quality is better. The audio and the video quality is much, much better. And in fact, we're getting more and more comfortable with the tools and how the interaction goes. In fact, I was going to ask you, where is this interview going to end up? What platform are you guys choosing? YouTube, yeah. Which is also great. So, but YouTube is designed for pre-recorded content or content that's already.
Except for this is 100% live. We're on now.
Right. And they're getting better at this kind of live content that we're experiencing right now. So we've discussed actually maybe trying out YouTube as a live streaming platform as well, because they are improving their game. They're upping their game as far as live streaming goes. But for the most part, YouTube is great for archiving content, and that's what most people use it for.
But for now, people can go to Twitch. It's called Twitch.
Twitch, yeah, twitch.tv /Wolgemut Live. That's the name of our channel. We have a channel. And so every Thursday night we go live, and we just play tunes. Sometimes it's kind of like a live rehearsal. We're just running through tunes. Sometimes we put on an actual show. Frequently, we like to have guests who come on and challenge us to try some new tunes and play some new songs. So it's a lot of fun, and it really keeps us on our toes.
Well, you keep the Wolgemutness going.
Well, the Wolgemutness, it's right.
Everyone gets happy, and you're bringing it right to them. So not everybody can make it to Texas for Yule.
Or Oklahoma or wherever else we're going to be. We have a very full schedule this year. In fact, we only get one weekend off at the moment, which is in August. So here we are in May. We're going to have May, June, July. Bam, 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 every weekend, plus some stuff in between weeks, plus our live stream. And then finally, at the end of August, we get one weekend off, and then we're right back into Maryland and Pennsylvania, and then either Ohio or Texas, depending on where we end up.
Well, I know I got dates booked in the fall. So I'm excited about that. Now, another thing are you in Oklahoma right now?
Right now, we're at the Oklahoma Renaissance Festival. We have 4 more weekends, including Memorial Day. And so if anybody's within 1,000 miles of Muskogee, they should come visit us, because it is an adorable fair. It's a smaller fair, but boy, they are fun. It is a very fun cast to work with. And because it's not on the beaten path like some of the bigger festivals, There's lots of adorable local cast people that I just really enjoy that I only get to see here. And they put on these wonderful nighttime events on Saturdays. So like last Saturday, we got to play music for a mass ball, which was fun.
Really?
And this weekend is Pirate Weekend. And so there's going to be a pirate piece on Saturday night. And then, yeah, it's just an amazing fair. And they actually have a castle, kind of. So
yeah, I want to thank you and them, because they're also very helpful people, for building that wall as a backdrop for you.
Oh, I know. That's it.
That's amazing. They love you. They love you there.
Yeah, I'm in the the front gate area. This is where people come in to enter the festival, and they provide us with housing, which is wonderful. Yeah, I love it. And then from here in June, we'll be in West Virginia, which is a new festival, relatively new. I think this is their 5th season, and that's also a very beautiful part of the country. And
my wife has people in West Virginia. Where about in West Virginia?
Near Lewisburg.
Okay.
Lewisburg. I can't. Yeah. I'd have to look it up. So it's right there, and it's beautiful in that area. So
it is. It is.
And then after that, we go up to Sterling, which is in central New York, right on Lake Ontario. Another gorgeous part of the country. Gorgeous. So I tend to gravitate towards the festivals that have like really beautiful areas in the country. Maybe not the biggest festivals, but definitely the ones that are nice to be at, especially in the summer. Great cast and great people and great performers. Sterling's one of my favorites. Pennsylvania, also a great festival, beautiful area. And then of course Maryland, which is one of my absolute favorite festivals, just because wow, they do everything right there. Everything. That fair is just great. So I feel very fortunate. I work at some of the best festivals in the country. Like when we get done here, we have to go from Oklahoma all the way to West Virginia. That's going to be quite a haul.
Yeah.
But once we're on the East Coast, then they're all much closer together.
You and I share a rare thing that not many people get to experience, and that is very few people actually know us by our real names. I am the Funky Werepig. You are Wolgemut.
Yes, I am Wolgemut. But it is funny because on stage, I'm known as Misha von Wolgemut. Misha,
yes.
Which is the short form for my real name, which is Mishael. So in German, my name Michael is Mishael. And growing up, that's what my grandmother called me, Mishael. So my parents are German, my grandmother's German. I grew up listening to German, doing it. Spent a lot of time in Germany as a kid. Ended up going there to study. So my German's pretty damn good. But it wasn't until I got to Germany that people started calling me Misha. And I'm like, what is that? They're like, well, it's like the equivalent of Mike. And so that's why. And so when I started performing with Wolgemut, I just started using Misha as my stage name, rather than that way it would give me at least a little separation in my brain between Michael and Misha. But basically, it's the same person.
But even more so than that, don't you get that Wolgemut
all the time? And it's the costume. The costume is a huge part of it. So what
happens when you take it off? You can walk right past them. They can be talking about Wolgemut, and you can walk right past them, and they don't even turn their head. Isn't that the coolest part?
It is the best part. That's why Kiss was brilliant that way. Think about it. They were still one of the most famous rock bands in history, and yet they can, well, not anymore because they blew it. But in the early days, they could literally do their gig, wipe out the makeup, walk out the door, and nobody would know who they were. So it is one of those weird things about the genre and the niche and playing Ren fairs. And, we perform, I mean, literally, I perform for thousands and thousands of people every year. This right here, in Oklahoma, I'm probably they have 10, 15,000 people a day come through the gate. I don't know how many, but let's say 10,000 a day. So that's 10,000 over 6 weekends. That's a lot of people. And at one point or another, they're going to hear us. It's not a big site. They're going to see us, and they're going to dance, and they're going to clap. And so it's pretty cool. But then I get to spend the rest of my week being a kind of normal guy.
I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. It has been fun. It's been informative, educational, and that's something that believe me, some of the guests I have, it ain't happening. It ain't happening. So, and I also, I mostly want to thank you for on the funkengroovenfest tour, always coming through Maryland and Pennsylvania.
My pleasure. My pleasure. Thank you so much for having me on your show. And hey, hopefully we can do this again.
Yeah. I will see you, I guess, in October.
I'll see you in October. Until then, as we always say, until next time, we simply say, Auf Wiedersehen, which is ancient German for Auf Wiedersehen.
Their music, their comedy. No one gets a crowd going like Wolgemut. Make sure to catch them on their funkengroovenfest tour as they perform at Renaissance festivals across the country. And don't forget, they bring the party to you with Wolgemut Live every Thursday night on Twitch TV. You can find out all the latest on their Facebook page or swing by wolgemut.net. Are you ready, piggy petters? Then let's put the needle to the record.
This next song was a special request for our good friend Vanessa. So just for you, Vanessa, we're going to break it out. The Schottish.
was super cool.
That was okay. That was probably sexier than the original recording. No.
Like a clock on the wall said ding ding dong, it's time to check the monkey clock. You know, the batteries in the monkey clock died long ago, so when I look up and I see that the time is 10 after 12, that is the correct time. Because one does not argue with monkey clock.
Hugs and Harroinks to our guest, Wolgemut. I loved it. I loved it all. I loved the drums. I loved the fiddle. Dude was playing the bagpipes with his armpits. Click back if you missed it. Yeah. And Michael, what an honor. We spent the better part of an afternoon trading tall tales. Maybe if the fans are well behaved, we'll do the extended dance mix one day. But not only was it fun, your knowledge of history is captivating. If you were a school teacher, maybe more students would be getting straight A's. Now, some of you may have noticed the brightness flare up behind me during the interview. That was not the sun. Dragons. Yeah, they follow Wolgemut everywhere. The boy childs had to chase them off with spray bottles and foul language, which they obviously got from their mother. High fives and disco hip bumps to the Magic Farmers Incorporated, Goat Boy, Iva November Slash and Malone, President James K. Polk, McCoy, and future historians who will let us know we lived during the Dark Ages. You know, Michael's historical knowledge got me thinking, so I did some digging on my own. And I uncovered this dude. My ancestor, Funkonius Werepigus, shown here defending the sparkling Lake Zima with only moon pies and a spear. Look at him, proudly wearing our family crest of no pants. I also discovered the evil history of pants. Okay, so the Romans didn't wear them. They had their robes, or when they went into battle, they had those really stylish armored dresses they would wear. But then they would get their asses kicked by barbarians. Barbarians were superior on horseback because they wore pants. Well, the Romans see this and they start wearing pants. Then everybody starts wearing pants. So let's break this down. By the transitive property, wearing pants would be barbaric. That's math. That's fact. That's in the Bible, and you can't argue with the Bible. Always watching. We have to get out of here, so there he is, our own musical director, JJ Glamour. JJ, what a fun show this was. Very, very cool show. I mean, we did the bulk of the heavy lifting, but as usual, you bedazzled it. So if you would, let's put the needle to the record. Let's throw those pants in the air like we just don't care. And if you would, good sir, play us out. And, oh yeah, make it something funky.
I hate when I see a dead opossum lying in the road because I think, did you really get hit by a car? Or are you just really that good?